All right, here's a commentary on a caricature I did of Alexy Vavoda. This is kind of cool. Commentaries rock actually because I feel it's kind of, I don't know why. When I used to draw caricatures at the theme park, I was able to talk and draw at the same time. But I think maybe I don't know. Maybe the format's changed and maybe it's a little hard to talk about things. But now that looking at this, I kind of like the post-mortem, like what I'm thinking, when I was doing stuff. So I'm drawing the one on the left, on the far left. And I guess the first thing I was thinking was like shape-wise, like I'm thinking of like, I'm thinking of Russia. I'm thinking of like, you know, um, these guys look like Greek sculptures, man. They have like, they're not round in their features. Everything's very, like long shapes. Um, so here I'm drawing his mullet. And this time I'm conscious about the way I'm drawing my lines. I've noticed that I have a tendency of doing like triple three strokes when I draw. And when I watch myself draw, I'm like, it's a little weird. I didn't know I hesitated that much. So here I'm trying my best not to do those many strokes. I don't particularly enjoy watching me draw with so much doubt. So here the discipline is to avoid doing that and, you know, concentrate on execution and my confidence of what I understand. This is new for me here. This is something that I've been doing lately. I'm drawing this book and I've been shading a different way. And it's kind of funny how it's creeping into my caricatures. Usually I would massage the hair and draw every little strand. But here I'm approaching it more like a comic book. And I'm focusing more on black, huge negative spaces. So I can get like a graphic look when I'm drawing. It's interesting how that just little piece of hair there that I drew makes all the difference. Like psychologically, we know that I didn't have to draw his other side of the mullet, but those little hairs say, hey, it's long hair. Here, his nose. I didn't think his nose was that big or long, but it definitely it feels like a slope, right? Like it slopes down and it just protrudes real quick. I had a friend at CalArts. When he saw me sharpen both ends of my pencil, he called me Rambo. He thought it was the funniest thing he's ever seen. Because I've never seen anybody sharpen both ends of a pencil like that. I'm like, well, I just didn't want to keep sharpening, so that's why I do it. And he's like, oh no, I get it. He's like, I guess I'm really hardcore about drawing, and I could be a little hard on myself. So he knew that about me, and I guess the two-ended pencils confirmed that. He would tell me stuff like, "Do you potty train your kids at gunpoint?" I'm like, "No, dude. Like I'm hardcore about what I do, but I'm not that hardcore on my kids. I'm actually pretty chill. Let them go at their own pace and discover their own things." I had done a caricature of him, and I wasn't fully satisfied. So I thought I'd take the time to study him. So here's just my drawing attempts of me studying him. Just so the next time I draw him, it's with ease. So I'm not thinking of hard not to think of, when you draw stuff, you want to be successful at it. So it's weird for me to tell you that I don't want to feel like I'm here to succeed in any way, because I'm not. Like, this is supposed to be a hobby. I don't want to be hard on myself. I say that, yet I want to make sure that I don't stroke those lines more than 3 times. Yeah. Well, I guess that's why I'm doing this post-mortem, so I can focus and concentrate on maybe these things. I got to remind myself that this is supposed to be a fun thing, not a situation where I'm potty training my kids at gunpoint, right? All right, so I'm gonna draw the one on the top right corner. Interesting, I didn't draw the hair first. This time I drew his head, his forehead, and then his eyebrows. I think when I say I think, I assume maybe I'm drawing subconsciously here. I'm just kind of doing it. Maybe that's why it's hard for me to talk and draw a little bit. I know I wanted to nail his sharp features. I have the habit of drawing his nose first, really dipping down, and then pulling his nose up. Here, I was thinking of those Greek sculptures, kind of like the Statue of Liberty, her lips. I was thinking that about his features here. That right there, the little cheek lines, that's new for me. I never drew cheek lines like that. Reflecting back, it made me think about how drawing at a theme park actually, it hurt me and it helped me. Hurt me in the sense that you tend to pick up habits other artists have, and a lot of artists didn't draw those cheek lines. They all fell into a formula a little bit because our top artist, because he was so good, everyone kind of followed his example. And in doing so, I think subconsciously I started picking up habits that weren't even mine. That's why I think it's so unique to watch me draw, because it might have been better had I not gone to work at a theme park as long as I did. Maybe a little bit just to learn the tools, have some experience. I'm not quite sure. All I know is that none of the drawings I did while I was at the theme park was worth saving or recording. The stuff I'm doing now is totally worth recording and saving. And when I watch myself draw, it actually looks like I'm taking more chances, and I'm a little bit more brave about doing things. And the confidence is coming from the stuff I understand, not so much what I was influenced by or what things were around me. It's an intense atmosphere when I was around other artists, because you don't know it, but I think inside we're all kind of competing to do a really good drawing, or get the audience to be like, wow, this guy's great, and have a big line form behind you. And those things can influence you and boost your ego up, and might be boosting the wrong type of ego, because the people themselves didn't really like us pushing caricatures. They like portrait like caricatures. And that type of growth is interesting, because your growth is determined based off what the people think about you as opposed to your own. And I guess that's different for everybody. Everybody's journey is going to be different. Some people are going to draw for the people, and some people are going to draw for themselves. I guess for me, I just wanted to draw for me and learn about me and how I see things. And it's hard to do those things when you're doing it for others, because then you might be doing it for the wrong reasons. Again, it depends on what you want. I have drawings where I that I did before I got to draw at a theme park, and they were really good, very unique. Um, I totally would. I see myself. I would have grown in a different direction had I never worked at a theme park. But I guess the little voice inside of me always says, "What if? What if I kept at it? What if I actually did it? You know?" And then here's another thing. While I was working at the theme park, what if I learned the tools, I learned the blending stump, I learned the airbrush, I learned how to draw. I got some experience. But then I left, but I left at a bad note. I left at never fully comfortably learning how to do my job. The truth is, I learned the experience of selling caricatures, being under the pressure of people, and I think within like the first year or two, like maybe 2 years. But I literally stuck around for 6 years. I stuck around for 6 years. The first 4 years was just complete struggling. The fifth year, I found out how to draw caricatures philosophically. Then the sixth year, I just wanted to have that good feeling of going to work and doing my job well. That's it. It's just 1 year of that. After that, I would be applying to animation school, and this would be something that I no longer did. I just wanted to prove to myself that I can comfortably do my job. Yeah, it's weird. And yet, I don't save any one of those drawings. However, again, it's hard to say I regret it all because a lot of the stuff that I'm displaying here, like drawing once and being confident, and all came from the stuff I've been exposed to at the theme park. I guess I got all my what ifs answered. It's weird. It's a double edged sword, I tell you, because time is pretty valuable to me. 6 years, whew. And what's interesting about it too is that once I learned to do it, I kind of just dropped it and never did it again. I'm only picking up caricatures because I got, I guess I got notified from YouTube that people are looking at my channel, and it was like one video that was getting all these views, and it was literally the people's responses that uh, got me to pick up the medium again and find out what this is about again. I didn't think this would contribute to my own personal work, but I think it has. I had a thing in me that just wanted to just do a couple drawings. I thought maybe, I used to do about 50 drawings a day, and why not do one a day? But that proved to be pretty exhausting, especially when I have a job and I'm doing other things. But I think I got used to it, and so I'm starting to do them more. Somebody had commented about the hands, that they like the way I draw hands. I'll do a video on that, so I could talk about how I break down hands. Hands is something that I enjoy to draw, and fingers. Also, the blending stump. I'll do a video on the blending stump, like the psychology that goes behind laying your lines down so you can prep for the blending stump. If you've seen my other drawings of this character called Travis Bajan, the arm wrestler, the first one I did was like 3 people, and then I did him and Alexy, and they're getting better and better. It's interesting. Even my Alexy drawings are getting better and better, so hope in time we'll see how much I get comfortable. Usually, it takes me a while to draw them and get to know them, understand their shapes and their mannerisms. It's only when you draw them the first couple times then you let your brain rest. And then through that rest, your powers of observations become a little bit more attuned to things you probably didn't see. I think I found out that I like working on my own. It I don't know about working with other artists. At the Caricature booth, I worked with tons of artists, and they're good people and all, but man, did we all start drawing the same. We all like, I guess the process of osmosis. And now that I draw on my own and I don't draw with anybody else, like I like it because I like seeing what I can do on my own and what makes me unique. Here, this is just the animator in me. I like drawing facial expressions. So this is a treat right here. I'm always for these awkward shapes. Yeah, there's nothing like the cheek overlapping the nose, overlapping the lips. It's interesting for sure. Ears. I love drawing ears. Believe it or not, I don't draw profiles too much. So right here, I hesitated a little bit because of the hairline. The hairline, I'm always like, it's tricky. You know, not everybody has the same hairline, and where it starts and ends is different for everyone. So that definitely causes a pause in me whenever I draw. Like, where exactly does this thing go? I thought here I had enough space to fit his arm up, so I thought I'd just make the best with the little that I got in terms of space. All right, it's time for the next drawing. Gonna do some finishing touches here with the blending stump. Isn't it crazy? It's just a rolled up piece of paper. It does miracles. I hope to get better at it. I'm not fully good at this thing. I've seen my coworkers really rock at it when I used to work at the theme park. They they would use it in such a way where you would believe like this is just a thing that creates shadow, you know? But really it's a skill. It's a hard skill that I'm getting better at. I'm seeing it over time. I'm getting better. I used to think at times you just have to break that blending stump down. Like maybe it just needs mileage. You know, like mine looks like it has mileage. But then some of the guys that I've worked with, they'll have a brand new one and they're using it like it's being used like it has experience. It's so crazy. He had an interesting expression on the left bottom left corner. The way he's protruding his lips there. So I thought I give that one a shot. It's interesting too because normally, you know, if something um, stands out to me like the lips, I draw them first. But here I'm not doing that. I'm actually gonna set it up. I'm gonna draw his head, his jaw, make sure these lines are straight, and then I'm gonna start going at drawing his mouth. So let's see how this goes. Yeah, here I'm thinking square shape, hairline. There we go, that chin. Yeah, I noticed that he had a big long neck here. Yeah, I see that little negative space between the mullet and his jaw. That's cool. So the eye can read that his neck is long. I like that. I well, when I used to draw, I used to make sure I matched everything. I don't know why I was obsessed with matching everything, but I'm glad that I'm using those drawings as a guide. You know, again, if you've seen my previous videos, it's my impression, and in my impression of him is his eyebrows are up. So I'm glad I get to adjust his facial expressions and adjust things as I see fit to cater to my impression. After all, I'm not drawing this guy's portrait, I'm drawing his caricature. The idea is to push the expressions and push things, because if all I'm doing is copying, I might as well trace it. All right, I'm gonna drip that nose down, bring that dude down. Oh, I thought I'd push it more, but I guess that'll work. Here we go, here we go. There are those lips protruding. I think I could have pushed it a little bit more. I like those facial muscles. I'm a big fan of facial muscles. All right, let's draw those eyes. I believe I'm going to get down to the eyes. Oh, I'm just doing little gesture lines here so I can set my blending stuff to shade it. I don't think I liked it when I finished it, so I won't be doing stuff like that again. I thought I'd try it though. I think this drawing would have looked good in color because he has blue eyes. It would have really stood out with his yellow shirt. Arm wrestling, it's cool. It's a cool sport, and the kind of people that are coming out, I swear it makes you, they're like human Pokemons. They're these monsters that dedicate a good amount of time making sure their arms are good, their technique is good. I think what appeals to me about arm wrestling is the techniques. There's always a technique that makes somebody appear to be stronger than they actually are. There's all these rivalries. It's great. And this guy, like I said, he's a lot like Bobby Fischer. He competed, he won, and disappeared. That's it. He was off to the Olympics on bobsledding, of all things. Then he came back to the sport. Like this year, he came back to the sport after 20 years. He loses, but who cares? I think the fans are at a point. I don't think it matters who wins or loses. I think as long as these guys show up so they can compete, that's all that matters. It's the fight and the dedication, I think, that makes this sport attractive. I don't know. Soon it will matter who wins or loses, just who shows up at their best shape, and they perform. And what makes him unique too, he's a big dude, but he's vegan. I guess a lot of fitness people are always just like, whoa, how's he doing it? He's vegan. I assume there's a thinking behind this that you're supposed to eat meat, I guess, to get big, but this guy's getting big and strong being vegan, right? And then I'm doing small little fonts of his name. All right, well, that's the end of my commentary. Hope you all enjoyed. All right, that's the end of my commentary. I hope you all enjoyed. That was a lot to unpack there. I'd say it was a pretty successful study. I learned a lot about drawing this guy the next time I draw him. I think it'll come with ease. And it's also these times too where I don't like drawing them immediately the next day. I'll draw him in a couple weeks, and then it'll usually come out fresh. I gotta let the information sit in the subconscious, so when it's time to call upon whatever it is I'm trying to do, it'll just come right out. All right, well, thank you everyone for watching and listening. If you have any questions, let me know. I also have a podcast, so you guys can listen to some of that. Leave me questions and I'll answer them. Take care. You guys all have a good one.